Mustang GT Convertible and $70,000. Yes, those match up in today's market. I'll include a link to the Ford & Draper's website in the description down below. They're providing us with this. If you have any questions and you need help, just ask for Johnny. Let's get right into it. This week's giveaway highlight is a Camaro Z28 and an LS6 Chevelle. Use code BHC or click the link in the description down below or in the pinned comment. Any donation, $25 or more, will give you 4x bonus entries into the giveaway. Under the hood is a 5-liter V8 that goes through a 10-speed automatic. Fuel economy 16 around town, 24 on the highway, with power outputs being 486 horsepower and then 418 pound-feet of torque. Yes, still functional. Having a lot of subscribers helps get access to cars for these reviews, so if you're able to, please subscribe, it's free. Here's a look at that hood vent from the exterior. Of course, you got the fun lights up front. I think they did a good job with that. Got a little bit of venting off to the side. Of course, you got the blacked out grille on this one. And with all the blacked out elements, I think it looks quite a bit sportier overall. 255/40/19 is the tire and wheel setup up front. You've got the blacked out wheels and Brembo brakes with this, and here's kind of a closer look at the little caliper. 275/40/19 is the tire and wheel setup in the rear, and you do have Brembo brakes in the rear too. Now, part of the expense with this is the convertible. It makes it a bit more expensive, but yeah, that's just life, I guess. When it comes to key fob features, we have our lock and unlock remote start. You got the opening for the trunk and then the Mustang horse on the back. And when it comes to the cargo area with the convertible, it's going to be a bit smaller, right? That top's going to take up a little bit of space, but still has some space. No spoiler on the back, but you do have the GT badge, and you guys can see the cool taillights. They do a little sequential thing, and you got 3 in a row. That'll pretty much cap things off for the exterior. Get a little exhaust clip. Keyless entry, and let's pop in. Blind spot running with the mirrors. You've got memory seats with this, and then you've got the red trim down below to kind of contrast. And that red trim will, of course, continue onto the seats. These are the back seats, kind of more of a storage shelf, not a lot of space back there. You've got more on the front seat, and you probably saw the red seat belts. Kind of clashes a little bit with the two different reds, but not the worst thing. And then the seat's partially power, partially manual. And what's definitely not manual is the car. It's an automatic, but nice pedals. Soft touch all around the steering wheel. You can see the perforated trim in the center paddles on the back for the 10-speed. Practical controls for the center stack. We also have our steering adjustment, drive mode select on the other side with your cruise control as well. Digital gauge cluster in the center, and again, you can change the information that's displayed. You can also change kind of what the cluster looks like depending on the drive mode that you have selected, and there's kind of a fun animation switching between the different modes. Just a backup camera in reverse, decent resolution with the camera system. And then as for the rest of the infotainment system, yeah, it's a big screen. You can see even with tons of sunlight that we have today, the glare is not really that bad. It's actually pretty manageable. Stuff like the heated seats, for example, are built in the screen. It also has cooled seats as well. Heated steering wheel, all the climate stuff is all built in there. And then if we press the little Mustang icon, that'll pull up the Mustang page, which has stuff like changing the cluster depending on what you're looking for. Some physical buttons for different shortcuts, like for stability control, auto stops, or to turn that off. You do have some USB ports as well. Shifter here to put it into gear. Got the parking brake right next to that. Some cup holders. Center console's got 12 volt. Nice trim on the top with the red stitching. And then for the convertible, as always, you pull, twist, and then you got a button here to push the top back the rest of the way. 2026 Mustang GT Convertible. Again, this has quite a few options added. $72,140. Let's see how the GT Convertible performs. So let us set off in the GT Convertible. Man, I feel like the lumbar's on. Yeah, it is. Big time. So, I gotta tell you guys a funny story with this one. I took the car off the pad, and it instantly died because there was no gas in it. This has not happened, knock on wood. Well, it just happened. But yeah, this hasn't happened since I sold cars. So I mean, it was just funny to get in the car and then just, because it ran out of gas. We put some gas in it, so it's fine now. But I'm just glad it happened then and not during the test drive portion of the video. That would have been quite unfortunate. I'm interested to see the convertible noise. It is louder than the coupe. Let's pop it into the sport mode. And that is the one thing about convertibles is, well, there is a price to pay. I can't see past this person. we'll just have to wait. With the convertibles, they're pretty far over, aren't they? They're like in the crosswalk. It's not like we're, yeah, crazy. Smooth power. I mean, that part's still fantastic. Gotta love the power delivery of the Mustang. Smooth V8 power, naturally aspirated. Don't have to wait for hybrid system to click in. Don't have to wait for turbos to spool up. You just put your foot down and this thing gets out of Dodge. It's pretty comfortable for being a pony car. You do feel the bumps and everything on the road, but not bad. Now, just like all new Mustangs, the steering is still like just senseless. I can't tell what the front end's doing with the steering. The only way that I can tell the front end's doing anything is once you kind of feel the chassis kind of contorting away one way or the other. Like making this turn, I can visually see that I'm turning. I can't feel it through the steering, other than I have my hands turned to the side. That's the one downside about these modern sports cars. That, you know, they're all electric power steering now, is you don't get that feedback that the hydraulic racks or no power steering has. Obviously there's a benefit if it's easier to drive, especially if you have weak arms, but sounds beautiful. See, the thing I like about this sound is it's just clean. It's just clean, smooth V8 sound and power. I wouldn't want to daily drive this though. It kind of bumps you around a bit. It's not bad, but it's very noticeable. Very, very noticeable. So let's pop in through here. Something's up. Mustang pricing. Well, yeah, we all know it's gotten crazy. It's been crazy for a while, but man, you get a loaded up GT convertible and you're now over $70,000. Just to put this pricing into perspective, the GT 350 was a $60,000 car back in the day. A load, like a GT 350R with carbon fiber wheels, carbon fiber wing, it's like 70 grand. So, and obviously, you know, that was like 10 years ago, but here's the deal, folks. This cannot even hold a candle to a GT 350 when it comes to the engine, the transmission, the looks. I owned 2 of them. Like, that's one of the few cars that it's kind of like the one that got away. Like, I had to sell it to fund the channel, right? That's just how YouTube works. But man, if I had like car collector money, that would be one that I would have never sold. So I think that, like, I don't know, I'm kind of cynical. Like, Ford still makes the Mustang, they still make the V8, which I appreciate, but I also feel like they're kind of trying to, like, either milk it or kill it, if that makes sense. Like, they're either trying to just milk as much money as they can from people that still want a pony car because they're the only one in the market, or they're making it so expensive, they're like, hey, if you're gonna buy it, cool, we're gonna get rid of it in the future anyways, but we're gonna, in the meantime, charge a crazy amount of money for it. I don't know. But let me know your thoughts. It's still a cool car. I just don't know who's gonna spend, I don't care what the two-door car is, whether it's a Porsche or a Mustang or anything. I don't know who's gonna spend $70,000 on a two-door car in today's world, where people can barely afford to put food on the table.